Bam, bam. Call to order of the Planning Commission regular meeting agenda for Monday, January 8th, 2018 at 6 o'clock p.m. I would like our former chair to please rise and help us with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Gladly. Please stand up and face the flag, hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And
Good evening, Chair, fellow Commissioners. The project before you tonight is an addition to an existing single-family home. It's located at 48 Monarch Bay Drive. And as I said, a site development permit has been requested to locate a fire pit seating area within the front yard setback. So the subject site is located inside the Coastal Commission permit jurisdiction area of Dana Point, at the end of the cul-de-sac along Monarch Bay Drive, as shown in this image here. The site is southwest of the intersection of Pacific Coast Highway and Crown Valley Parkway within the RSF4, Residential Single Family 4, zone community of Monarch Bay. The property is also surrounded on all sides by similar single family development. As the site sits now, it features a 3,243 square foot single family dwelling on site. There's also an attached 647 square foot garage. There's a pool, site walls, and decorative hardscaping and landscaping shown in the ordinances here. As part of a full interior and exterior remodel, the applicant has proposed additions of 888 square feet, shown in red in this image, to the existing home. And the existing home is obviously outlined in this lighter blue, for a total gross floor area of 4,131 square feet. In addition, the applicant has also proposed the installation of a fire pit seating area, which is shown in green towards the front of the lot here, in the front yard. Pursuant to our local coastal requirements, approval of a CDP is required for an increase of 10% or more of the internal floor area of the structure within the coastal commission permit jurisdiction. Additionally, our zoning code, as related to accessory structures, states that these structures shall be located in the rear half of the parcel. However, certain exceptions are made for locating structures in the front half of the parcel, subject to because this proposal proposes an addition of more than 10% of the internal floor area, 888 square feet of a structure within the Coastal Commission permit jurisdiction area, and the installation of a fire pit seating area within the front yard, a major CDP and a minor SDP site development permit. Shown in this slide, you'll see that the redesigned structure consists of a, as I said earlier, one-story, 4,131 square foot single-family dwelling. The new design will include 4 bedrooms with multiple walk-in closets, 4 bathrooms, an office, open living and entertaining areas, and a kitchen which flows directly into the proposed family. The proposed design allows for maximum efficiency of use and space. As seen here, the proposed exterior improvements include a combination of smooth white cream colored plaster and stacked natural stone veneer, dark brown shingle roof that's proposed, and a mahogany entry door. Large glass windows and steel garage doors are also proposed. And as you can also see here, that all materials, they really blend together to form a cohesive contemporary architectural styling. So as shown in this rendering, the fire pit seating area also includes a 30-inch high bench seat, which is shown on the bottom left of this rendering here, and a 16-inch high gas fire trough constructed on top of a low wood slat deck, which forms obviously an outdoor fire pit / seating area. The seating area proposed is 5 feet from the front property line and shall not exceed 42 inches in height as measured from that existing grade. The site will be landscaped with a mixture of succulents, tall grasses, and other plant materials, which will ensure to visually screen that fire pit seating area wall, as well as other parts of the home. And as shown in this rendering here, you can see that the rear yard improvements include maintaining the existing pool but resurfacing it, spa as well, constructing a new outdoor living dining area with a pergola, a new barbecue, a chimenea, and decorative pavers and new landscaping throughout the rear yard. The staff finds that the proposed addition and fire pit seating area are consistent with the basis of approval for both a CDP and a SDP site development permit as outlined in their respective sections of the zoning code. Responses supporting the required CDP and SDP findings are are detailed in the draft Planning Commission resolution. Additionally, the current design has also been reviewed and approved by the Monarch Bay Architectural Review. With that, staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt the attached draft resolution approving the subject entitlements. The applicant and myself are also available, as always, to answer any questions. Yeah, the office space is, I believe, in looking at the floor plans, I'd have to look at it again. I don't believe that there's a closet attached to that, so it's 4 bedrooms and an office. If that area is proposed to be a bedroom, a minimum 3-car, actually over 5 bedrooms, a minimum 3-car garage is required. Looking at it, I'll have to take another look at it, but if they did propose that to be a bedroom, they would be requirements of the zoning code allows for.
Yep, we already answered the question, so that's it. Thank you.
Danny, the wood fire, the fire pit on top of a wood deck, is there some insulation type requirements there?
Yeah, so the actual fire pit or the trough will not be existing, or will not be constructed on top of the deck. There will be an area that's cut through, and the fire pit will be constructed below that grade of the deck. In addition, obviously, it'll be reviewed by California Building Code, or against California Building Code, no CFA requirements, as required for not only the gas line, but the construction itself.
Close this section, and open up the hearing amongst the commissioners.
We're actually going to go to the public hearing and ask, ask the secretary if there's any.
Do we have any written?
I do not have any requests to speak forms submitted.
So then we can go ahead and close the public hearing and take it back to the commissioners for deliberations.
This time we do close the public hearing, hearing none, and take it back to the commissioners for discussion.
Well, I think this project meets the requirements under the code. I believe that staff has outlined how that project meets these requirements, and I'm fully supportive. It's a nice upgrade to other things in the past that it's all said and done, it's really nice, so I'm fully supportive.
I have no comments.
Yes, I agree with Commissioner Nelson, but also I'd like to compliment the architect. This is one of the clearest pictures of what the project will look like when it's done. Normally, I see a drawing that I have to use my imagination of what I think it's going to look like, but this is excellent. So I'm very impressed. No, I support the project. Yeah.
Yes, please make a motion.
That we approve.
Real quick before you make your motion, I just wanted to note, in looking at the resolution, it refers to a full site development permit as opposed to a minor site development permit. And then in making the motion, could you refer to it as a minor, and we'll make that correction in the final resolution. So it should be minor site development permit SDP 17-0046 as opposed to a full site development permit.
So it would be an SDP, right?
A minor SDP.
Minor SDP.
Correct.
So I would make a motion that we approve the coastal development permit CDP 17-0025 and minor SDP 17-0046, an addition of 888 square feet to an existing single-family home located at 48 Monarch Bay Drive. Additionally, a site development permit has been requested to locate a fire pit, seating area within the front yard. Would that be the minor? Correct. And a minor permit as well.
Second?
Please vote. And it's 4 in favor. Anything else on that project, Dave?
That's it, I believe. My colleague John will be taking over.
Great. Good evening, Chair and Planning Commissioners. John Champ, I'm the case planner for the project site is located within the Monarch Bay Mall community, which is a the property is improved with an existing 2,459 square foot property is located within the RSF 4 zoning designation. Just to give you a little background about this property and this community, the variance was issued for the entire mall back in the 1960s, which established specific setback. The variance for this particular lot established a 9-foot front yard setback and a 20-foot rear yard setback. 1965, the one-story house was constructed. In the backyard of the area, as well as intersecting a number of homes within the community, is a landscape area known as the landscape lawn. It abuts the rear of the house and is identified as a potential resource in the city's This is the existing condition of the lawn. Of the area when it was constructed. Project scope is proposing to demolish the existing home and construct a new 2-story, 3,760 square foot single-family dwelling attached to the lot. Project area is located outside of the landscape wall. Project has been reviewed. Coastal development permit is required for the location of project and coastal overlay. Project complies with all of the coastal development requirements as that new house complies with all of the site development standards and do not impact public access or project does conform to city certified LCD as well as the zoning ordinance. This is a site plan of the project. As you can see, it does comply with all the stated setbacks associated with it and does not meet all the height and site This is the front elevation. It's designed in a contemporary style architecture, which seems to be very common on new projects within the community. And as noted from the street view, it will appear as one story, and it is maintaining the same height above the existing elevation of the site. Project complies with required findings in that it is in conformance with the certified coastal program. The application is consistent with the purpose and intent of the 8.7 code and complies with the required findings of the coastal development. Staff's recommending approval of the zoning permit, subject to the attachment of the staff and property owner. Technically, it's not a basement because it does daylight, but that lower level does walk out to the grade at the back of the home. Oh, you may be right. I think on the slide. That was incorrectly labeled, that actually would be
go ahead and open the public hearing and ask if there's any requests to speak.
Okay, I'll start. So, it's sad to see a beautiful mid-century modern house get torn down, but I actually really like the new architecture. So, a fan of mid-century style. So, but now the reason for me not to support this project, and I think it's a beautiful project. Its own requirements as stated in staff requirements.
Commissioner Opal?
I have no specific comments, but I do concur with Commissioner Nelson in that I would be supportive of it.
Based on the fact that it meets all the city's requirements and the Monarch Bay Homeowners Association has approved it, I would recommend we approve it, and we'll make that motion.
Has been a motion on the floor, and I too concur.
Second that motion.
Right, and, roll vote.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful project. Okay. Moving on to, the subject coastal development permit CDP 17-0015 and minor site development permit 17-0047 to allow an addition and remodel to a legal non-conforming house on the Coastal Bluff lot located in RSF-3 zoning designation at 34611 Camino Capistrano. And is that John? Are you up on this? Thank you.
Hello again. John Champa, Case Planner. This is for the Lewis residents. Thank you, Chair and Planning Commissioners. This is the Lewis residents. There's a request for a coastal development permit as well as a minor site development permit. Project site is located in the RSF3 zoning designation. It's improved with an existing 2,500 square foot, two-story single-family dwelling with an attached two-car garage. Project is located within the Capitol Beach community within the city of Dana Point and is also located within the appeals jurisdiction and coastal overlay. It is also, as you can see, a coastal bluff lot. Just to give you a little background on this property, it is a two-story, 2,500 square foot house, as I previously stated, and was constructed in 1969 prior to the Coastal Act. The house is considered legal non-conforming because it has a 15-foot bluff rear yard setback or bluff setback when 40 feet is required. This is an existing home. In its condition, there haven't been really any modifications to the home since it was originally constructed, and as you can see, it's in a Spanish-inspired design from that 1960s era. Project scope is proposing an addition to the first floor, which would create a new office. It would also propose a attached covered patio and a kitchen remodel. On the second floor would have an 82 square foot addition, which would expand the master bedroom, and it would also include a remodel to the second floor, which would allow for a third bedroom and involve the remodeling of the master bathroom. Exterior modification would include a facade remodel to modify the existing architectural style of the house to a craftsman-inspired design. The required entitlements for this project are a coastal development permit because, as previously stated, it's located within the coastal overlay and as well as a coastal bluff lot. Minor site development permit is required because the project is requesting an addition of more than 10% to the existing square footage of the house. So therefore, it's considered legal nonconforming. As far as the coastal development permit, the project conforms to the requirements of the certified LCP
including that it complies with the Dana Point zoning ordinance and all of the applicable development standards, including the 40-foot bluff setback requirement for the new additions and improvements. As you can see from the slide, public access exists within 130 feet from the site, providing public access to Doheny State Beach. The project has no impacts to public recreation, coastal access, or environmentally sensitive habitat area. As far as the minor site development permit, the request for a 398 square foot addition would expand the house up to 16% increase. The project would not involve any modifications to the legal nonconforming setbacks for the structure, and the proposed exterior improvements and additions as previously stated comply with all of the applicable development standards. This is a site plan of the project. As you can see, the addition as well as the patio are located on the landward side of the bluff as to not have any impacts to any slope stability of any kind, and all the improvements are located outside of the 40-foot required bluff setback. This is the proposed architectural design, is more of a craftsman-inspired design, be maintaining the house's existing height and general footprint with the exception of the proposed additions and patio cover. Project is in conformance with the required findings for this coastal development permit and minor site development permit, and staff is recommending approval of the entitlements subject to the attached conditions in the draft resolution. That concludes staff's presentation. Staff and the property owner are available for any questions.
Okay, bring it back to the commission.
The commission for any commission questions of staff. Nope, we don't need to do that right now. We need to ask if the commission has any questions of staff. And then once we get through that, then we can open the public hearing, close the public hearing, move on to commission deliberations.
All right, so we'll open this up for questions to staff about the project.
John, just two questions. The chimney height, when you looked at the roof height is the maximum, does that include the chimney?
No, the chimney is allowed to exceed that by 3 feet.
Okay. And the write-up said a patio cover, is that retractable?
It is not. It is fixed in place.
That exists now?
No, it's proposed as part of the application. It'd be located on the landward side of the new office.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's all.
That's correct. In this area of Capo Beach, there's a very large public right-of-way. It's actually 30 feet from the face of the curb, so there is some improvements that are located in the right-of-way to access the property.
That's consistent throughout the adjacency.
That's correct.
Okay, and then just so I understand, we're essentially approving something that's forward of the 40-foot bluff edge.
That's correct.
Nothing behind that or near the bluff is being touched.
That's correct.
That's all right. Thank you.
No questions.
I just want a little clarification myself about the 40 feet minimum that you want and existing is 15 feet from the edge of the bluff, which is essentially non-compliant. So what what kind of actions are taken in terms of keeping an eye on that bluff? What erosion, those kinds of things might be occurring?
Through the analysis of the project, there was a geotechnical study that was done to identify what the 50-year erosion line would be, and that's identified on the site plan as well as in the geotechnical reports. So that line has been identified at approximately 2.5 feet over the course of 50 years, and that's an estimation. So along with that,
that provided staff the appropriate reassurances for the location of and the scope of work that was being proposed, as well as, if the site were to be scraped or if there were to be an extensive amount of improvements that would exceed demolition of more than 50% of the exterior and interior walls of the home, the entire house would need to be brought into conformance. So that is part of the staff review of this application, any applications moving forward.
No?
And staff, no further comments?
No further comments.
I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing.
There are no requests to speak.
We'll close the public hearing. That's what I'm here for. But, okay. Do I hear a motion?
Well, I'm ready to get back for a discussion. At least for me, I just have a couple comments. This house is pretty close to the edge, so it's good to see the building in the front of that 40-foot setback. It's in driving by there, it's definitely a house that's in need of some TLC. So really glad to see that the town is doing this house. I'm in full support of the proposal, and
I too have driven by there many, many times, and the house is now entrenched between some larger homes on either side, and I think that this is just a wonderful thing to have in your house and to the neighborhood. So, thank you.
I don't have any comments.
The beach setback will be a problem of the next commission. Madam Chairman, I move that we approve coastal development permit CDP 170015 and minor site development permit 170047 to allow an addition and remodel to a legal non-conforming house on a coastal bluff lot located in the RSF3 zoning designation at 34611 Camino Capistrano.
Thank you for that. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, ready to vote? And it's unanimous. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tom.
So this is the time when I look at Shayna to see if there's anything I need to remind you of, any canceled meetings, but I think we are going to be continuing as scheduled. We have items to bring before you. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and New Year, and we're excited to see what 2018 brings us. Thank you.
Well, I'd like to congratulate the new mayor, and also thanks for the DVR, so I won't miss the playoff game, so nobody tell me what the score is.